Now it's working. I swear, you go away from Discord for like 2 years and everything goes to hell in a handbasket. Hello, everyone. Discord, OBS, whatever tool I'm using. This is the ending screen. This is the ending screen. I like to do this at the start of marathon runs just in case anything goes sideways. So I've proven that I can beat the game. All right. So having stipulated that, and also 2020, that's, I don't know, make a wish? That's not a wish time. Anyway. Let's, hi, I'm NME, this is Valkyrie no Densetsu. This game is not Zelda, but is very similar to Zelda in some ways that we'll talk about. I'm going to try to keep this as a real chill run and actually pay attention to chat, which I stink at during marathons, but I'm going to do my best for y'all. One of the cool things about the TurboGrafx, so 2 things real quick, hold on, I'm going to plug this. Everybody, if you are liking this marathon and you're thinking to yourself, boy, some of these games are real cool, I want to check them out, or I want to be involved in a community of awesome people who love the TurboGrafx and all those related consoles, go here, which you'll see that link before you hear this, because that's how this transmission works. That's the Discord link for the TurboGrafx 16 speedrun community. Don't have to be a speedrunner, obviously, to join that, but it rules, and you're going to see a lot of awesome people who play just some of the coolest games that you've probably never heard of, some that you've heard of and some that you might not have. So it is like this magical portal to awesome new video games. So go there, check that out. I'll spam that throughout the marathon because I can do that. I'm allowed to do that. Okay, and number 2. Here's the cool. There's no reset button on the PC Engine or the TurboGrafx, but check this business out. Look at this. I can press run and select, and you have to press run then select, and I can reset it like that. I can do a soft reset. I love it. You'd think that would maybe get you in trouble in a speedrun, and I have, I guess, technically reset stuff mashing buttons at the end of games before, trying to wait for cutscene stuff, but never actually ruined a run doing that. So this is Valkyrie no Densetsu. Let me give myself a little bit more audio. So hopefully it doesn't bleed too bad into the microphone. Nate. I'm gonna blush. Anyway, let's move on. I don't have any water. I did drink a lot of caffeine right before, or shortly before this, so it should be exciting. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so I'm playing on the English patch. The gold seed was holy, but is now corrupt. Reclaim it. Alright, everybody got that? So, straight away, so a lot of games, I mean, you just saw the most recent game, Kaiser Chojin Shibibiman 3 Akari no Princess. Easy for me to say. They used Turbo in that. It is something we talked about in the pre-game, that Turbo is available for the speedruns in here, in these this system's games, which is very nice. I often see people, you know, like make this plea. I'm gonna wait for this coin to come back. I'm gonna get this coin too. We're keeping it real breezy here. We're gonna skip right past that young lady who's tied up, and we're also gonna skip past our buddy Sandra, who is a Sour Patch Kid. I see a lot of people complain, Turbo should be allowed on every console because, you know, for whatever reason, there's a lot of like reasonable accommodations, I think, that can be made for use of Turbo. Oh, good. I like that little squish because it looks like her helmet looks like she got a giant mouth. I didn't really explain it at the time because I'm trying to say like 5 different things at once. Anyway, people complain about not being able to use Turbo on for speedrunning other games on other platforms. I'm like, TurboGrafx 16's right here, y'all. If you want to use all the Turbo you want, come on by. We'd love to have you. That's where I was trying to go with all that. So I'm trying to collect a little bit of money here, since this is a light run here. This is more of a power walk than even a speed jog. Ooh, I avoided the lightning without getting hit, but then I went and got hit because I was bound and determined to take damage to avoid that lightning bolt. The lightning bolt, your frames, your animation frames are way longer than if you just take contact damage from other things. So we're gonna have 515 gold. We need 500 to buy the item that we're gonna buy. I guess I should talk about game mechanics at some point. I'm just kind of all over the place. So the first thing we're gonna do here, we're gonna go buy this item. And you'll notice that my shot is now different than it was at the start of the game. We're going to buy this this shield, which is actually the wide beam. That is the second best weapon that we're going to use in the game. And we're going to use it pretty much throughout the entirety of the game. There's going to be one point, really in the next stage, and maybe at the end of this stage, where you're going to see the triple shot, which is a nice weapon and allows us to avoid doing extra shopping, going out of our way, getting any extra weapons. It's something I got along the route of the first stage here, which I didn't even mention because I was trying to figure out how I wanted to complain about people not running TurboGrafx games even though they wanted Turbo on their speedruns. And I got there eventually. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's talk about comparisons to Zelda here. So obviously, protagonist running around wielding a sword. Top-down view, you know, a lot of similarities. I have several times made the classic joke of what if Zelda was a girl, you know, that old chestnut, when kicking off my marathon runs for this, since Valkyrie is in fact a girl, and so is Zelda. In case anyone's not familiar with that joke, that's the joke, right? Oh, there you go! Oh, see she's all flattened and the helmet looks like it's a giant mouth. Okay, let's get rid of some of the riffraff here. And see, you see these not moblins right here throwing spears at me? Yeah. I'm just saying, they took some liberties from The Legend of Zelda. Now, obviously, it's more of a run-and-gun style, nominal platformer. Excuse me very much. Alright, well, this is going to be kind of annoying. Health is not really an issue in this stage, is the good news. The bad news is we have to wait for these platforms. That could be pretty slow! Oh, get out of here! I just fell through that moving platform, and now we have to wait. Wait. Fall off of a moving platform, you have to go back to the last stationary platform you were on. And those platforms keep on moving. Alright. So here's our wide beam. We're going to hopefully switch over to the triple beam like as soon as... Oh, okay. So close to the end of the fight. Not exactly at the end, but... the triple beam actually does a little bit less damage than the wide beam. So we're going to basically just try to burn it off through this next stage so we go back to the wide beam. That's the goal here. You're gonna see some more. There's not Impa, by the way. You know, for deep Zelda lore. Maybe not that deep if you played the 3D ones, I don't know. This guy is definitely, you know, trying to convince you to buy a potion. So we can go pretty fast and loose with this triple shot. Like I said, it does a little bit less damage than the wide beam. And we really just use it to balance our ammunition out for the rest of the run. So there is a set count. I'll go into the pause menu real quick. You can see the weapon that I have currently selected on the left there, and then the weapon that I will go to when this one runs out. I can't swap between them before. I can't just like choose which weapon I want to use. It only changes when you run out of ammo. So the triple shot and the wide beam both have 160 ammunition. Later on, we're going to be using I forget what it's called, but it's basically like a drill bit. That has 120 ammo, so obviously it does less, but it's the most powerful weapon in the game. So, you know, you balance that out, it works out. But we want to make sure that we switch over to that basically as soon as the boss, the second of the boss rush. There's 3 bosses at the end of the game. We want to make sure we switch over to that like, at the right time. So we're not wasting the ammo, and we're maximizing the damage we do. The boss. Not Ganon. It actually doesn't look anything like Ganon, really. I guess you can argue slightly. Not really. There's also red and blue flames in here. They're not quite candles, but, you know. The gameplay's pretty different, obviously. It's way more of an action game. And there's jumping, obviously, so that's somewhat different than most Zelda, or at least the top-down Zelda game. I don't think that actually hit me. I think there we go. Okay, so we switched back. Taking issue with these hitboxes right now. Look, see, that doesn't hit me, but I was getting hit before. You explain that to me. Go ahead. Give it a shot. Alright. So we're rolling. There's our Sour Patch Kid friend. Also, the trans rights flag. The color scheme there. You'll love to see it. It's magic. Yeah, well, no, actually, Spaz, it's not magic. because magic is a whole separate thing in this. I don't even know if you were talking to me. I just happened to look up a chat. See, I said I'd do a bad job of reading chat during Marathon. Proven. Thank you for the good luck, Andy. And anyone else who wishes us good luck. Yeah, oh, look at that. I love it. I love the trans hearts in chat. It's awesome. Okay, your best friend is Sandra. You may have heard me say that. In the English version, I've only ever seen that question, but the Riddler can ask 3 questions here. So I don't know if in the translation patch you're just like, we only want to translate one of the questions, so we're just gonna put that one in here. But yeah, there's 1 of 3 questions, so you either have to memorize the, I want to say hiragana or katakana. I'm not sure which. I don't think it's kanji in the Japanese version. Or what I do, actually, technically, it's faster to get the question wrong, but for Marathon, I would prefer to keep my health. Here are not Dark Nuts, by the way. Definitely not inspired by Dark Nuts, these enemies right here. No, sir. Why would you even say that, is my question. Oh, thank you, Murdoch. Fun fact, I didn't mention this earlier in the pre-show, but if you didn't watch the pre-show, if you're just tuning in now, didn't watch the pre-show, welcome, first of all. And second of all, this game was purchased for me. I actually do have a physical copy of it, which I'm not playing on right now, so I could show off the English translation, and you guys can kind of get a little bit more out of the game that way. But Murdoch bought me a copy of this game for my PC Engine from Japan. He went to Japan and bought this game, as well as several others for me. So thank you again, Murdoch. And now this antlion shooting Cocoa Puffs at us. I'm gonna go over here. I'm just gonna walk past these not moblins. Or, moblin? Yeah, no, Goria would be the other thing. Okay, so here we have a door maze. Like, so shout out to Toad, so this was door maze earlier. So we get the wide beam there. And now we're gonna go buy a drill bit, which, that's not their name, but I'm calling it that because I forget their name. So we're gonna buy this B item. And we're gonna get this key here, which we need. And then we're gonna hop back over, we're gonna turn on the turbo. This is one of the rare games where you want to do turbo jumping. A lot of times you want to do turbo shooting, but never really do you want to do turbo jumping. Well, in this game, turbo jumping is way faster than walking or doing big full jumps. Okay, so real quick, you can see what my items are. We have the wide beam, another wide beam, and then 2 drill bits. And that's all the weapons we're going to have for the rest of the game. So if we run out of that, actually, I'm probably going to just pick up in passing another wide beam. You'll never see it. But that's usually something that happens kind of in the course of doing business in this game. Okay, we're going to jump across here. Do that. Oh, we're going to... Ooh, okay. I don't really want to land here, but... the jumping in this game is very finicky. Or the angles that you take, I should say. Not the jumping. So, well, the jumping can be finicky, too. Sometimes the jumping does not like to... it does not like to do a full jump all the time. If the game has any excuse to like say, you know what, you nipped something, then you don't jump full. You do like what would be essentially a turbo style jump, even if the turbo is turned off. It's really frustrating at times. Well, we made it through there okay. We want to kind of keep our health with some honesty here. Don't want to die. Dying's not the end of the world. I should have at least 1 continue right now. It's not 2. Jump onto this catapult, and then maybe we'll see the biggest scam in this game. Okay, so here's the red flames. They're just bebopping around doing red flame stuff. We're gonna just go into this room and okay, watch this. So I get hit by that, and oh, okay, we actually avoided the contact from the zombies there. That's cool. But yeah, I get hit by the flames during the screen transition. Like, what a bunch of junk. That's such a scam. Okay, good pattern so far from Electric Man. Okay. You want to basically be on the blue squares near him, that you can more or less avoid the foolishness. Okay, we want to dodge. That's a bad pattern, but that's okay. If that's the only bad pattern we get, we're 11 like. Oh man, great fight, great fight. Sneaky stage, but that's okay. That's fine. I've gotten a world record in each of the past 2 years in this game on Retrothon. Let's say that's true. I think I'm misremembering one of the games. Anyway, I certainly got this past Retrothon. So you know what? This run doesn't need to be spick and span. It's all right. Just has to be decent. Okay, so here come the blue flames. These blue flames, You cannot satiate their bloodlust sometimes. They will just be nasty, brutal customers. That guy is going to spawn right in front of me and hit me. Yeah, before I can even regain my consciousness there. That is nonsense. Alright. This is the NWA hallway, because this is a whole lot of Ice Cube right here. I've never said that before. I'm just workshopping my Type 5 here. Apparently. Yep, now just keep getting hit by lightning. It's fine. It's not a speedrun or anything, so do whatever. This is the hardest boss in the game. You ready for this? Wow. Cool. Somehow, we made it. Goodness gracious. That was close. I hope you guys remembered to breathe during that, because it was very harrowing for us all. Okay. Alright, so the Riddler's gonna ask us, what color was I earlier? If you get this wrong, it sends you back to the start of the stage. Which, as you can imagine, is no good for a speedrun. But, fortunately, that question never changes. It's always, just hold up on the D-pad. Don't come after me. Oh, don't come after me. See, usually what they'll do is like 1 or 2 charges. Some of them will just keep going forever until they get you. It's pretty rare, but it does happen. Alright, so we're going to wait for the Thunderbird to rotate around back here, and then we're trying to control this fire tornado. This is the tornado magic, so Spaz, what you mentioned earlier about the magic, that's why I said, no, there's actually magic. Well, this is the actual magic. But the fire attachment is something we just picked up from that frozen NPC that was just right there in front of this boss fight. We can't really control this because, you know, as tornadoes go, they're not really able to be controlled. And this is similar. You can kind of guide it in the direction you'd like to go, and it more or less follows, but not right down to the input. So, gotta get used to it. That was a mediocre fight. It was alright. It's fine. I got a piece of armor. That doesn't do anything. That's just story fodder. Go north to the village. Okay. So, new routing for this. Well, it's not that new anymore, but, like, routing that occurred to me to try one day, and is, in fact, like, 30 seconds faster than going the opposite direction. I never mess around on these ice flows. You saw earlier I fell, and it cost me time. Well, those ice flows are ice, so I mess around even less there. I just wait for them to kind of line up, and then I go. So, we are paying the price. We're paying for the curse of all the enemies we've killed so far. So, MGS3, you ripped off Valkyrie no Densetsu. How very dare you. Get up here. Get up here. Try to go past these guys. We're going to take a hit here. Boost through. No, I only wanted to take 1 hit. Okay, we got to get into here. You have to get into there, otherwise you cannot proceed through this stage. At least as of this point. I don't know if there's a way to, you know, avoid that, but not that I know of. Cross, jump across here, and we're going to fight the Crunchberry Ant Lion. They're Crunchberries and not Cocoa Puffs because they're green. And if you have a green Cocoa Puff, you made some mistakes. You should probably have them. I'm in the middle of shooting it. It's like, nah, I'm just going to keep barreling through and kill you. Jerks. Jerks! Look how slow that is. I'll sit there and watch that whole animation. Alright, so now we can go through this door. The other way you go is another one of those worm spawn rooms, except you have to kill all the worms, unlike that first one that you saw, where I just waited for them to spawn and then went. Okay, we should have enough. No, we don't. Okay. So the flames were being pretty docile, and now they're despawned, so that's good. Alright, that's a pretty good patch there. We had to deal with some furious flames in the first section, but that second section, not too bad, which is good. Alright, we don't have a pepper. The pig has naught to give. That's okay. Okay, so we got this big elephant-looking fella. We're going to go the strength path here. The knowledge path is this series of sliding block puzzles that are very, very, very slow. This is not very slow. This is very fast. And it's nominally a speedrun still. So we like to be fast if we can. Right here. So as you can see, they bust us back to this baby weapon. Doesn't matter. That's it. That was it, by the way. That's the boss fight for this stage. I expected as much from you, hero. Thanks. Alright, there's our Sour Patch Kid friend. You may know them as Sandra, or if you've ever played the Super Famicom game Whirlo, or Sandra, no tolerance for that game. I don't know the actual Japanese name. Oh god, that game is frustrating. If you want a game with really, really brutal controls, very, very in-depth controls, holy cow. Not that it's bad, it's just, boy, it's demanding. For a game where you play as a Sour Patch Kid, I mean, it's definitely sour. All right, that's who we need to kill. That's the mom boss here. Okay, that's good. So we've got to try to rush up here and catch this before it goes that way. All right, well, we didn't do it. It's kind of out of my control. Hoya! All right. Whew. Again, we do not want to fall into the water off of a moving platform because we have to go back. It costs a lot of time. It's no good. Watch out for the spears. Watch out for the not dark nuts. Okay, here's another flame. Now, this next flame is the best flame in the game because he just sits there and watches you. I've never seen that flame attack, ever. Not once, ever. Another ant lion. Another cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs one. I love the music. The music in this game is great. This is, I always say that this is my favorite Sunsoft soundtrack from a game that's not actually made by Sunsoft. And it doesn't quite have the same sound profile as a Sunsoft game, but, I mean, you can kind of feel that it could fit into like a Hebereki or, wow. And then my brain went blank on other, let's just say Hebereki. Or Euphoria. Don't tell them that it's the same game. Alright, so we're going to try not to kill anyone in here because we're trying to despawn some enemies that are going to be on our way later. Okay, so here's... Yeah, so that's the wide beam that I said we would probably get just in the process of doing business. So normally here there's some flying monkeys, but as you can see, no flying monkeys. Where are the flying monkeys? Well, we didn't kill anything in that last little stretch, so there are no flying monkeys. We got rid of them. We despawned them. So you see I'm just like shooting at nothing. I'm trying to burn off the last of my wide beam here because I really want to switch over to the drill shot before, well, really as soon like with the last hit on this fight, ideally. But there's a cool little thing, and we're nearing the end of this game actually. We just kind of like, yeah, okay. So we're just gonna keep shooting, and we're just gonna keep shooting. It's still there, no problem. Just wait. And switch. There we go. Alright, perfect! Fantastic! That switched as soon as he started moving. Hopefully I can show off the fabulous bowl cut. Look at this bowl cut on Camus here. Oh no. Okay. That is a quarantine self-haircut if I've ever seen one. And as someone who cuts their own hair, I have mad respect. You know, the bowl cut's maybe a little dated, I'm not gonna lie, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's all I'm saying. Slap that bowl down and go to work. Alright, so, final form of the final boss. Okay, avoid that. That. Not that well. Alright. Kinda. Basically, usually does 3 to 4 extensions of the arm before you're good to go. And their hand hitbox is pretty small. I mean, you can see the hands are kind of overlapping with me, but not really doing a lot of damage. Fingers touching me, but, you know, it's all good. We're about done here. I'm just going to tank this the rest of the way. It's pretty confident I could get away with that. And, dot. There we go. Slide in with a cool 2140. That's pretty close to estimate. I think I put the estimate at 22. Something like that. I don't think it says on screen. If it does, then forget what I said. Oh, it totally says on screen. You would think I would know that, right? Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Then I played like that on purpose. Trans rights. It's back. Thanks for the GGs, everyone. I love this game. This is one of those... So, I'm gonna, like... wax all nostalgic and sentimental and stuff during my runs because I can do that. And I know we're like super far ahead after the last 2 runs. So many the PC Engine and TurboGrafx games are stuff that I came to late in life because I didn't have this growing up. This is one I really have to give shout out to a site called retro-sanctuary.com. I think it's .com. I was looking one day, like after I kind of dipped my toes into the TurboGrafx waters through the Virtual Console. I was like, what are the best TurboGrafx games? So I typed in like top TurboGrafx games, and it gave me a list of top 100 TurboGrafx games. And there I found this, Legend of Hero Tanma, which I'll be racing later with Lat and Dog Developer and Bald Nate. And that was the first game I speedran for the TurboGrafx. Final Lap Twin was in there, which I really didn't pay much attention to at the time. Basically every game that I'm running in this marathon, and many more, I found out about through Retro Sanctuary. So shout-outs to that site. I can't say enough good things about this console. It's so great. We should have 3 buddies here. Yeah, so we have the Shine Sprite up there, and Navi in the upper right-hand corner, and then the guy what sells you the bait in Legend of Zelda there, and also the goddess, and there's Sour Patch Kid, and that pose is definitely not reminiscent of Zelda. I don't know who would ever think that. I've never seen that pose in any sort of Zelda game that the Valkyrie is doing there. Anyway, I have a lot more in this marathon, and many other people have a lot more. I sincerely hope that if you guys and gals and everyone in between are watching this marathon and you find something that you like, that you'll join us. Even if you don't want to join the Discord, play the games, enjoy them. I don't care whether or not you submit speedruns to speedrun.com. That doesn't bother me at all. But I promise you that this platform is a treasure trove of awesome games that you just may not have ever been aware of because of its short lifespan in the US. So please, just do yourself a favor and look into it. And hopefully you will enjoy them at least partially as much as I and so many of the runners here in this marathon have. Coming up next, Mackie is playing Alice in Wonder Dream, another game that I found out about through Retro Sanctuary. This game rules. It's like part Mega Man, part Mario, and part Alice in Wonderland. It's real cool. Stay tuned for that. Thanks, everyone. I'll be back later throughout the marathon. 3 days here. So we got tonight. Anything's tonight with Daimaka Mura. Tomorrow, we got another full day of runs, and then again on Sunday. So enjoy, stick around, and thank you for watching.